Hey guys, welcome to our weekly team call. Thanks for being here and trying a new way to do this. So I appreciate you being flexible and trying out some different technology. Last time I did this, it was for a business presentation and it worked really well. So I wanted to try it out for the team. Before we get started, I want to do a little bit of recognition. Since we didn't have a call last week, I'm going to do recognition for the last 2 weeks, so want to give everybody their proper shout out. So let's start with all of the new coach rank advancements. So our new Emerald coaches over the last 2 weeks are Teddy Ruffalo, April Kelly, Nicole Harkness, Kyle Ramsey, Patrick Hurley, Lauren McDonald, Angela Smith, Talia Farmo, Jen Loon, Michelle Carroll, Morgan, gosh, Morgan, I really need to get with you and figure out how to pronounce your last name. I just botch it every time. Sorry, girl. Dominique Hill, Nicole Klein, Bonnie Bohan, and Heather Owinga. That's a lot of Emerald coaches, so awesome job, you guys. Congratulations. New Ruby coaches, we had one. Shelly Dietz is a new Ruby coach. And then new Diamond coaches over the last 2 weeks are Donna Try, my mom, and then Carrie Regan. So congratulations, all of you guys, for the new coach rank advancements over the last 2 weeks. Okay, so let's move on to top coaches. So 1,000 Club, 800 Club, and 500 Club. So over the last 2 weeks, we've had quite a few coaches in the 500 Club. So let's see. 2 weeks ago in the 500 Club, we had Carissa Riley, Aaron Pitcher, Samantha Crowley, Meredith Gersten, and Brian Garms. 2 weeks ago in the 800 Club, we had Ashley Zobril. And 2 weeks ago in the 1,000 PD Club, we had Carly Del Carlo, Brittany Powers, and Alexa Campbell. And then this past week, in the 500 Club, we had Carly Del Carlo, Mikala Gerland, Emma Chesmore, Aaron Pitcher, and Vanessa Brown. And then nobody in the 800 Club, everybody just skipped over to the 1,000 PV Club. We had Alexa Campbell, Ashley Zobril, Brittany Powers, and Amy Heacock. So great job on being top coaches for the last 2 weeks. And then lastly, we're going to talk quickly about our top recruiters. So let me find our top recruiters here for the last 2 weeks. So top recruiters, 2 weeks ago we had Carrie Regan, Teddy Ruffalo, Samantha Crowley, Sarah Chaluti, and Kyle Ramsey. And then this past week we had Carly Del Carlo, Vanessa Brown, Bonnie Bohan, and Nicole Klein. As of last Thursday when I ran our reports, Team Triceps had 1,142 total coaches on our team, which just blows me away. And something we're going to talk a lot about tonight is just consistency and just being consistent in what you're doing and building an empire for yourself. That's all I've done is just be consistent. So I'm going to talk all about that. One last shout out that I'm going to give for our team is recently I just posted about our Success Club by the 15th, so the 515 Club and the 1015 Club, so I'm going to give all those peeps a shout out. So for the 515 Club, we have Michelle Gangi, Becky Mirando, Vanessa Brown, Tammy DeGroot, Michelle Jacote, Kylene Newsy, don't know how to pronounce your last name, sorry girl, Devin Lukenbach, Jenny Porteris, Megan Kelly, Joni Rosinski, Lindsay Kearns, Lorena Brandstetter, Larissa Madison, Brian Garms, Mikala Gerland, and Amy Heacock. So awesome. Let's see. And then for 1015 Club, for the 1015 Club, we have Carly Del Carlo, Brittany Powers, Alexa Campbell, Ashley Zorbel, Carrie Regan, and Aaron Pitcher. So congratulations, you guys. You're doing an awesome job for August. August is a hard month, so I'm proud of all of you guys, even if you weren't listed there. You guys are doing awesome. I know you're out there. I know you are doing this and talking to people. But what we're going to talk about tonight is things that you're feeling like you're having gaps with. So I posted on the team page on Monday, I think it was, yesterday, about I think the post was, if I could figure this thing out, my business would take a step forward. I just wanted to hear from you guys. What do you feel like is missing in your business? And I got quite a few responses, which I loved, but a lot of them kind of center around the same thing. So I'm just going to go through the main things that I heard, and I'm just going to talk briefly on each one and then kind of wrap it up and how we can really learn from this, okay? Because there's really a very consistent underlying message in all of this, okay? So number one thing, being consistent and focused. So if you could be more consistent and more focused, your business would move forward. So being consistent and focused, that is something that is very unique to you. So my consistent and my focus is very different than your consistent and your focus. So I want you to first, if you feel like you're struggling with being consistent and being focused, I want you to first look at yourself and say, what does my consistent look like? What works for me? Okay? And I want you to compare yourself to yourself. So make a plan for how consistent you want to be. So if your consistent is, I want to invite 5 people to either the business opportunity, a free challenge, my Beachbody challenge, if I want to invite 5 people 5 times a week, so that's 25 invites a week, that's my consistent, then you need to track that. You need to see how you're doing to track if you're being consistent. You need something to measure it against, right? So you need to set a goal and then measure that against, and then you can see if you're consistent in that, okay? And I always feel like, man, when I make a goal and I put it on paper and I stick to it, it just feels more achievable like that, and I tend to be more consistent at it. And it's really a mindset. Like, you really truly just have to dig in and be disciplined about it. So maybe your consistent is, I'm just going to pick one day a week where I send invites, one day a week where I send follow-ups, one day a week where I send Facebook friend requests. That's okay. That's got to be, that's your recruiting. That's your consistent. So you've got to find what works for you and then measure that, okay? A lot of people talked about finding time and managing their time. And one thing I just recently heard, probably just 3 months ago, I think it was, from Eric Worre. He talked about you can't manage time, or maybe this was Jim Rohn, or I don't remember, someone. You can't manage time. Okay, time is what it is. We all have the same 24 hours. You can't change it. You can't manage it. It goes by no matter what you're doing. Okay, what you can do is you can prioritize your time. You can pick what you want to do in the time that you have. So I want you to change your mindset and say, what is my priority? And the easiest way to do that is to write down 5 top priorities in your life. Okay, maybe you're a mom, you're a Beachbody coach, you're a teacher. Okay, maybe you volunteer and you're a wife. Okay, I don't know, just throwing those out there. But I want you to pick 5 top priorities in your life, and I want you to only do activities that fall into those priorities. Okay, and if Beachbody is the 5th on your priority list, then that's fine. Then it probably is not going to take up as much time as your number 1 priority, right? But some of us have Beachbody as a number 1 priority. What I don't want you to do is, I don't want you to compare your journey, if your priority with Beachbody is number 5, to someone who has a priority of Beachbody as number 1. Okay? Because there are some of us that have a number 1 priority of Beachbody. Okay? And that's, I just don't want you guys to compare yourself to other people, because it's apples and oranges, and your journey is your journey, not somebody else's. So we talk a lot about that. Stop comparing yourself to others. And you know what your priority is, and you know that you're staying consistent to your priority, and you're staying focused to that. Even if maybe you're not on those leaderboards that I post, you're still staying consistent for what you need to do and what works for you, and that's awesome, and I'm proud of you for that. So I want you to get comfortable in that, okay? So prioritize your time. Okay, you posted about comfort zone. I need to get out of my comfort zone. How do I do that? How do I get out of my comfort zone? Okay, number 1, it's just practice. Like, you've got to take action and you've got to practice. So I know a lot of times getting out of your comfort zone takes confidence, and a lot of us maybe are lacking self-confidence. But what breeds confidence? Action. You've got to take action in order to take the step up to breed that confidence. If you never take action, you're never going to build your confidence. A great book for helping you get out of your comfort zone is Go for No. Okay, it's a great book. It's a really short read. Let's see, where is it? Here it is. So Go for No is right here. Go for No. This is what it looks like. It's by Richard Fenton and Andrea Waltz. Great book. It just talks about how you should be going for no's versus yeses. So if you make a goal of, I'm going to invite as many people as it takes in order to get 20 solid no's, that's a lot of invites, okay? So it just kind of takes the pressure off. If we can go for no, then we can just tally no's, and it's not like we have all this pressure of how many people can we get. We're just going for no. Like if that's why I do Failure Fridays. Because it's like we need to fail in order to succeed. You need to hear no's in order to hear yeses. So read this book and go for no. That's going to get you out of your comfort zone. Okay? The next one, expanding my network. So talking to strangers. You know, there's so many resources and so many calls that I've done or the other Beachbody coaches have done about expanding your network. It really comes back to consistency and saying, okay, I am going to recruit and find people on Facebook and meet new people on Facebook 3 times a week, or I'm going to do it 1 time a week. Okay, you've got to figure out what works for you, and you've got to be consistent in what you decide to do. I always say when you're meeting strangers and you're talking to people is find common ground. How did you meet them? You're meeting them at the same time. You guys are at the same grocery store. You live in the same town. Maybe your kids go to the same school. If you're meeting them on Facebook, it's probably because you have common friends. Or maybe it's because you met in a group of, you know, Weimaraner dogs or something. You guys have the same dog, right? So the same kind of dog. So you have common ground somewhere. That's why you're face-to-face or talking or meeting, because there's common ground somewhere. You've got to find that common ground, and you've got to build that trust. So always look for common ground first, because that just makes people feel safe and okay to accept your friend request or to accept chatting with you because of that common ground, okay? Convincing people to buy. So this is good. And I commented on this on the team page, but you know, it's not about convincing people, you guys. It's about showing people. You've got to show people. Live the lifestyle. Show people that you're a positive light. You've got to show it on Facebook. You've got to brand you. So you know, it's a lifestyle. It's about living the life you want to live and the life that I'm sure a lot of other people want to live. Who is your target market? What kind of life are you leading to inspire them to lead that same life? Okay? It's not about convincing. Get that word out of your vocabulary. It's not about convincing anybody of anything. I mean, honestly, Shakeology sells itself, right? We just have to show them what it's doing for us. We have to share stories about how Shakeology is helping us. So don't convince them about anything. Just tell them the facts, share your stories, and show them. Okay, be proof the products work. Overcoming objections was another thing. So tons of resources on overcoming objections. The book Go Pro by Eric Worre has tons and tons of scripts on overcoming objections. Also, if you go into the Coach Training Academy on the Coach Online Office, there is a section called Invite, 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 and Tommy Migrant has tons of great stuff on how to overcome objections. There's great resources there, so check that out. Really, overcoming objections is just about taking them back to their why. So if you never found out why somebody wants to lose weight or get healthy or be a coach or be a successful coach, then you're never going to help them get over those excuses. I was just talking to one of my coaches earlier today, and she was telling me about her coach who feels really overwhelmed and feels like she doesn't have time to work her Beachbody business. She's like, I don't know really how to guide her to give her the right tools to say okay. And she's like, I really understand because I'm busy too, but I also really don't want to lose her on my team. So I told her to get back with her why, to find out again, why are you doing this? Why did you want to become a Beachbody coach to begin with? Okay, because your why has to help you get over those excuses. So if someone's in your challenge group and they're slacking off, go back to their why. You know what? You told me 3 weeks ago that you wanted to look good in the bikini when you went to Cancun. Why are you slacking off? Or you told me 3 weeks ago that you're sick of huffing and puffing when you're playing with your kids. Why are you slacking off? Okay, you're doing nobody any favors by slacking off. This is up to you. Okay, so overcoming objections, really the core of that is getting down to their why. Okay, so another one was I want to be better at opening up about Beachbody. So really, that kind of goes same thing with talking to strangers and all that stuff, but I really want you to forget about opening up to Beachbody to anybody. Like, all I want you to do is I want you to form somebody. So we learn about form and rock the basics, and form stands for family, occupation, recreation, and message. So you can use those first three: family, occupation, recreation. Recreation means like hobbies or what they like to do. You can use those three categories to build common ground, to build trust, to build a relationship. Now, as you're talking with people, you listen. Okay, so you listen and you hear their message. I was talking to a prospect coach the other day. We met for lunch or coffee or whatever, and she was telling me all about how she has no disposable income right now, and that there's no way that she could see spending money on herself to join as a coach when, you know, all of their income needs to be going to their kids. And she said, you know, I don't even really have disposable income to really buy anything for myself. She's like, I really can't even buy myself new sneakers. And she's a fitness instructor. And I looked at her and said, you are screaming for disposable income. You just told me you need disposable income. And I looked at her and I said, I have a solution for you. I have a way for you to make disposable income. So listen to what people are saying as you're having conversations with them. That will lead you exactly to where you need to be talking about Beachbody. Okay? And I know I make it seem easy, or it just flows, but you know why it's easy? Because I practice. I do it every frickin' day. I practice. I'm consistent. Okay, so practice, practice, practice. You've got to practice at all these things to be better, to get over that fear. Okay, it always takes practice, and you're never going to be good at first. When you're talking to someone, it's going to be mumbly and jumbly, and you're going to vomit all over them. Beachbody. One of the coaches has posted in Triceps that she didn't really know what to say in a concise little nice package, and it's because she isn't practicing enough. You've got to practice in order to be good and to be able to talk to people in a way, like in a way that invites them in. You have to practice listening, and you have to practice forming your message. But the only way to practice and build confidence in it is taking action. You've got to do it first in order to be good at it. Okay, so really that kind of just leads me into wrapping this all up. So I wrote some notes down. It really honestly all comes down to discipline, to sacrifice, to patience, and acceptance of your own journey. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that one more time. It all comes down to discipline, sacrifice, patience, and acceptance of your own journey. Okay, so you have to be disciplined, and you have to sacrifice. Okay, some of us sacrifice more than others. Some of us are more disciplined than others. Like I said before, you've got to figure out what you're willing to sacrifice to reach your why. You've got to figure out what you're willing to do to be consistent. What's your consistent? Where's your focus? Okay, you've got to figure out where your priorities are. But don't compare yourself to anyone else, because priorities are always different. Okay, it's your journey. That's why I say you have to accept your journey. Okay, so I'm just going to give, just a quick example of sacrifice. Is I do these calls late at night. I don't really like to do them late at night because I like to relax at night. I work during the day and I teach during the day, and I try to get up early But I know a lot of you want to listen live, and a lot of you work during the day. So that's just a sacrifice I make because I want you guys to listen live, and I want to be a part of your weekly lives. And it's just a sacrifice that I make, okay? So that's what I'm talking about, sacrifice. And discipline. It takes hard work. Like, it just takes hard work day in and day out. And I never once regret the hard work I put in to this business, because I know that hard work is building my future. It's building my future with Adam, our future, wherever we're going, it's building that. Okay, so I never once regret the hard work or the discipline it takes, because I love it. It's empowering to me to know that hard work is going for me and my family, okay, not somebody else. Okay, so most of you listening to this call, and this is a sad fact, but it's true, but most of you listening to this call will allow your life to get in the way when it comes to your dreams. So you're going to allow excuses and things to come in to allow you to not work as hard or as disciplined or as consistent or as focused as you want to be able to hit your dreams. Why? Because it's easier to do that. It's easier to just go along with the 9 to 5, the monotonous life that we all do, right? The rat race. And I'm not saying that that's bad, because it works for a lot of people in this world. But for all of you, you're on this call for a reason, because you're sick of the rat race. You're sick of it, right? You're here because you see something better for your life, for your family. Okay, so you've got to reconnect with your why. Okay, when you feel like you're not being consistent, or you feel like you're not being focused, remember your why. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Okay, you've got to have that why really close to you, and you've got to use that. There have been so many times, especially when I quit my full-time job, that I questioned why the hell I was doing this every single day, multiple times a day. It's not easy. It's not easy, and I will never say that this is easy, but I will say that it is so rewarding, it's empowering, and it has completely changed my life, and I have no regrets for ever questioning it and getting over that hump, and questioning it and getting over that hump. So it's part of the process. I never question it now. Because we've made a life out of it. We can live off of the income from Beachbody doing this full time. So yeah, I still have big goals and big dreams, and we want to buy a house or build a house or whatever, you know, get our dream house, and that still takes a lot of work, and that takes a lot of sacrifice, and I'm willing to make that. So I want you, lastly, I want you to think about your why and your dreams. And I want you to match your time and energy that you're putting into this business to that why, to that end goal. And I want you to really think, like, is this time and energy that I'm putting in, is this going to get me to that end goal? If the answer is no, then that's okay. Maybe you just need to readjust either your time and energy put in or your end goal, or maybe it's just going to take you longer to get to that end goal. Maybe it takes you 7 years where it takes someone else, like maybe myself, 2 years. And that's okay. Again, that's why you have to accept your journey, and you have to know where your focus is, where your consistency is, what works for you. So hopefully out of this message and team call, you're getting that you've got to find what works for you, and you have to find a system for you and figure out what works. So I have to say that for me, it's ever-changing. It is always ever-changing, because priorities in life are ever-changing. So don't ever think that you make a statement or a priority and it has to stay the same for the rest of your life. You can change, and that's totally fine. Right now, my priorities are that I want to be working my Beachbody business as efficiently as possible, and I want to be working it, in as small time as possible. So what I did the other day was I needed to create a schedule. I needed to create a weekly schedule that allowed me flexibility, but allowed me to get in my invites to make sure that I'm building my business, but that also helped me build my team and help my team of coaches build their business. So to mentor, right? So I have this, it's just like this schedule, and I just printed it off. I'm a big printer, okay? So I like to see things like printed out, and I like to check them off. What I'm probably going to do with this is I'm probably going to laminate it. I'm probably going to cross it off every day. So like, just for example, Monday it says 6 a.m. read, 7 a.m. workout, 8 a.m. breakfast, 9 a.m. 5 invites and 5 follow-ups, 10 a.m. national coach call, 11 a.m. send out 5 new conversations and continue 5 conversations. 12 o'clock I have a one-on-one with my mentor from Beachbody Corporate. 1 p.m. I'm going to add 5 new Facebook friends, and I'm going to like 500 pictures on Instagram to attract followers to me. 2 p.m. I'm going to answer messages. 3 p.m. I'm going to check Facebook groups, and 4 p.m. I'm going to work on my to-do list. Okay. I also have in there a scheduled time on my scheduler for one-on-one calls. So there may be some one-on-one calls throughout in that time frame. Okay, that's a lot. Okay, but that's just what I've committed to. And I put an hour for each of these. Some of these tasks don't take me an hour, but I just want to make sure that I have enough time, right? So maybe some days they'll take me longer, and some days it won't take me as long. But I want you to come up with something that works for you. So if you want to send out 10 invites a week, then why don't you space it out? Why don't you say my goal is to send out 5 invites twice a week? Or maybe you're sending out 3 invites 3 times a week. Whatever works for you, okay? You just have to pick what works for you and make it consistent, and make a list. Make something that you can keep track of, that you can measure. Make your own BAT, right? Do what works for you. Find what works for you to help you stay consistent and focused. It all comes really down to systems and being disciplined to it and making that sacrifice for you and your family and your future. So I will let you guys go. Happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for being on, and we'll talk soon. Talk to you guys later. Bye.